Seduction and secret deception, desire, and a dangerous game. Eric Lawson has it all: youth, ambition, and a promising career in IT. He also has a beautiful, devoted girlfriend, Tasha, who is carrying his child. But when he crosses paths with Sophia Lancaster, a wealthy, alluring businesswoman nearly twice his age, temptation pulls him into a world of luxury, secrets, and forbidden passion. What starts as harmless flirtation soon turns into something far more dangerous. As Eric glides his way into Sophia's life, she welcomes him with open arms, showering him with gifts, power, and opportunities he never imagined. But Sophia has secrets of her own, and when she finally reveals one that changes everything, Eric sees the ultimate opportunity, one that could make him rich beyond his dreams. But in this dangerous game of lies and seduction, who is truly in control? A story of love, betrayal, and the price of deception, where every choice comes with a consequence. The story Seduction and Secret episode Won the Price of Deception Chapter 1. A chance encounter. Eric Lawson was a man of ambition. At 27, he had built a promising career in IT, working as a cybersecurity specialist for a rising tech firm. His intelligence and charm made him well liked. Though he had a weakness, he always wanted more. More success, more money, more opportunities. He had a girlfriend, Tasha, who had been with him for 3 years. She was loving, supportive, and now pregnant. The news had shocked Eric, not because he didn't love her, but because he wasn't sure if he was ready for that level of responsibility. Then came the conference. It was an exclusive tech summit in New York, an event filled with investors, CEOs, and industry leaders. Eric had worked hard to secure an invite, knowing that networking here could change his life. And that's when he met her, Sophia Lancaster. She was the kind of woman who commanded attention the moment she entered a room. Tall, elegant, and in her early 40s, Sophia was a self-made millionaire, the CEO of a thriving software company. She had wealth, power, and a confidence that was almost intoxicating. Eric had been talking to a group of engineers when she approached him. "I couldn't help but overhear," she said smoothly, her green eyes locking onto his. "You have an impressive take on cybersecurity. I like that." Eric smirked, shaking her hand. "Eric Lawson. And you are?" "Sophia Lancaster," she replied. His heart nearly skipped a beat. He had heard of her. Her name was legendary in the IT world. "I'd like to be your friend, Eric," Sophia said casually. "You have potential, and I enjoy surrounding myself with ambitious minds." Eric didn't hesitate. "I'd be honored." And just like that, his life started to change. Chapter 2. The first light started with simple meetings. Sophia would invite Eric to dinner, introduce him to powerful people, and offer business advice that could take his career to the next level. She was generous, buying him expensive gifts, upgrading his tech gadgets, even offering him investment opportunities. But then the inevitable question came. "Are you married, Eric?" She asked one evening over dinner at an upscale restaurant. He hesitated, his mind flashing to Tasha, his girlfriend, the mother of his unborn child. If Sophia knew, would she still invest in him? Would she still introduce him to these powerful circles? "No," he lied smoothly. "No wife, no girlfriend." Sophia smiled. "Good." And just like that, Eric had stepped onto dangerous ground. At home, Tasha noticed the changes. "You're always busy now," she said one night, rubbing her growing belly. "You barely spend time with me." "It's work, babe," he said, forcing a smile. "This is my big break." Tasha nodded, believing him. But Sophia wasn't just investing in Eric's career. She was investing in him. The way she looked at him, the way she touched his arm when they talked, it was clear she wanted more. And Eric, blinded by ambition, allowed it to happen. Chapter 2. A forbidden connection. After their first meeting at the conference, Eric and Sophia's connection didn't fade. It deepened. What started as a professional exchange quickly turned into something more personal. It was Sophia who first suggested they keep in touch, and before long, their conversations had found a home on Snapchat. It started with innocent messages, updates about work, tech trends, casual greetings. But as the night stretched longer and their replies became more frequent, the conversations took a different turn. One evening, as Eric lay in bed, he sent her a simple message. Eric, so, tell me, Sophia, a woman like you, successful, beautiful, why are you single? A few minutes passed before she replied, Sophia, because life had other plans for me. Eric raised an eyebrow, intrigued. Eric, meaning? She took her time to respond. Sophia, I was married once. He left me when he realized I couldn't have children. Medical issues. It broke me for a while, but now I've accepted it. I live for myself now. Eric sat up, processing her words. Eric, I'm sorry, Sophia. You deserve better than that. Sophia, don't be. I've moved on. I'm almost 50 now, and I've decided to just enjoy my life. No attachments, no expectations. She added a wink emoji at the end, and Eric felt a strange thrill rush through him. Sophia, what about you? A man like you must have someone special. His heart pounded. He thought of Tasha, the woman carrying his child. But in that moment, honesty was the last thing on his mind. Eric, once upon a time, but she broke my heart. Since then, I've been single. A pause. Then her reply came. Sophia, such a shame. A man like you shouldn't be alone. Their chats continued, becoming more playful, more intimate. It was no longer just friendship. It was something else. Something dangerous. One night, Eric messaged her just as he got into bed. Eric, what are you wearing right now? A few moments later, her response flashed on the screen. Sophia, a silk nightgown. Heat stirred inside him. He smirked, his fingers moving fast. Eric, and underneath? A brief silence. Then, Sophia. You're so naughty, Eric. He chuckled. Eric, you didn't answer my question. Her reply came with a winking emoji. Sophia, maybe you should use your imagination. His heart pounded as he stared at the screen. What started as innocent conversation had turned into something electric, something neither of them was trying to stop. And deep down, Eric knew he wasn't just playing a game anymore. He was falling into something dangerous. To be continued. Chapter 3. The invitation. As Eric lay in bed, his phone screen glowed in the dim light of his apartment. He had been chatting with Sophia for hours, their conversation shifting from work to playful teasing. The chemistry between them was undeniable. Then, out of nowhere, she sent a message that made his heart race. Sophia, I've been thinking. Are you free this weekend? Eric raised an eyebrow. Intrigued, Eric. That depends. What do you have in mind? Sophia, there's a movie I really want to see, but I don't want to watch it alone. That Eric's smirk faltered for a second. The weekend. That was when he always visited Tasha. Since his job was in another city, weekends were the only time they had together. But this was Sophia, a wealthy, powerful, gorgeous woman who was clearly interested in him. He wasn't about to let this opportunity slip away. I'll make up an excuse, he muttered to himself. His fingers moved quickly over the keyboard. Eric, I'd love to. Where are we watching? Her response came almost instantly. Sophia, my place. His grin widened. Eric, at your home? Sophia. Unless you'd rather take me somewhere else? Eric chuckled to himself, sending a laughing emoji. Eric, I can't wait for this wonderful moment. He could almost feel her smile through the screen. After a few more playful messages, they said goodnight. But even after putting his phone down, Eric couldn't sleep that he had a pregnant girlfriend waiting for him back home. But right now, all he could think about was Sophia. Saturday evening, by the time the weekend arrived, Eric had already put his plan in motion. That morning, he called Tasha, making his voice sound tired. Babe, work is crazy right now, he sighed. My boss just dropped a last-minute project on me. I have to stay back this weekend. Tasha was silent for a moment. Eric, you barely come home anymore. I know, he said quickly. I hate it too, but this is important. I promise I'll make it up to you next weekend. Another pause. Then finally, she let out a small sigh. Okay, Just take care of yourself. I will, he said, another lie. That evening, Eric arrived at Sophia's penthouse. As soon as she opened the door, his breath caught. She looked breathtaking. She wore a short skirt that hugged her hips perfectly, showing off her toned, thick thighs. Her sleeveless top exposed just enough to tease the soft curves of her body, making her look effortlessly seductive. Sophia wasn't just beautiful. She was the kind of woman who turned heads wherever she went. Confident, elegant, a woman who knew exactly what she wanted. And right now she wanted him. You're right on time, she said, stepping aside to let him in. Eric walked in, inhaling the sweet scent of her expensive perfume. The lights were dim, the atmosphere warm and intimate. Of course, he said, flashing his most charming smile. I wouldn't miss this for anything. Sophia smirked, her eyes lingering on him for a second longer than necessary. Good, she murmured, closing the door behind him. Let's make tonight unforgettable. To be continued. Chapter 4. A night of passion and secrets. The soft glow of the television illuminated Sophia's lavish penthouse as she poured 2 glasses of rich, red wine. The scent of her expensive perfume filled the air, blending with the subtle notes of the drink. Here, she said, handing Eric a glass before settling beside him on the plush sofa. Perfect, he murmured, taking a sip. The movie playing was a romantic Mexican film, filled with passion, longing glances, and stolen kisses under the moonlight. The chemistry between the characters was intoxicating, mirroring the tension building between Eric and Sophia. She sat close to him, her thigh brushing against his. Neither of them moved away. As the movie went on, Eric's hand casually rested on Sophia's leg. At first, just light touches, his fingers tracing small circles on her skin. She didn't resist. If anything, she leaned into him, her body radiating warmth. He turned to her, his voice low and smooth. Can I kiss you? Sophia tilted her head slightly, her lips curving into a playful smile. Yes, that was all the invitation he needed. Eric cupped her face, his lips pressing against hers, soft at first, then deepening as she melted into him. Her hands roamed up his chest, nails grazing against the fabric of his shirt as he pulled her closer. His fingers slid along her waist, exploring her curves, feeling the softness of her body. A quiet moan escaped her lips as his hands traveled lower. She was getting lost in the moment, in the way his touch sent shivers down her spine. Let's go to my room, she whispered breathlessly against his lips. Without hesitation, Eric took her hand, and she led him through the dimly lit hallway into her bedroom. The space was as luxurious as he expected: king-size bed, silk sheets, dim golden lighting that cast a sensual glow. As soon as the door closed, their lips found each other again, their bodies pressed together in heated desperation. Eric slid his hands over her curves, feeling the warmth of her skin through the soft fabric of her sleeveless top. Sophia let out a soft sigh as his lips moved down her neck, his touch igniting something deep within her. Just as the passion between them reached its peak, Eric's phone buzzed on the nightstand. He glanced at the screen. Tasha. His stomach tightened. Sophia, still breathless, noticed his hesitation. If it's important, you can pick it up, she murmured, tracing her fingers over his chest. Eric forced a small smile. It's nothing important, he lied smoothly. Without another word, he subtly put his phone on flight mode, ensuring there would be no more interruptions. Then he turned his full attention back to Sophia, eager to drown himself in the moment. Meanwhile, back in her small apartment, Tasha sat on the couch, clutching her stomach. A sharp pain shot through her abdomen, making her wince. She reached for her phone and dialed Eric's number again. No answer. Her heart pounded in frustration. Where is he? Another wave of pain hit, stronger this time. Something wasn't right. Taking a deep breath, she scrolled through her contacts and called the hospital. HLO, she said weakly. I think something's wrong with my baby. I need help. Chapter 5. Sweet lies and soft whispers. The night was quiet, the city lights glowing softly through the curtains of Sophia's luxurious bedroom. Underneath the silk sheets, Eric and Sophia lay tangled together, their bodies warm from the passion they had just shared. Sophia rested her head on his chest, listening to the steady rhythm of his heartbeat. His arm was draped lazily around her waist, his fingers tracing small circles on her back. It felt peaceful, almost too perfect. She sighed contentedly, pressing a soft kiss against his skin. "It's been a long time since I felt this way," she murmured, her voice low and sincere. "And I have to admit, you're very good at handling a woman." Eric smirked, running his hand down her bare back. "I try my best," he teased. Sophia chuckled, but her tone grew serious. She lifted her head slightly, looking into his eyes. "I know I'm much older than you," she said softly. "You might wake up one day and meet a younger, beautiful girl, someone closer to your age, and want to be with her. I won't stop you, but I'll ask one thing from you, Eric." His fingers gently brushed a strand of hair from her face. "What is it?" "Just be honest with me," she whispered. "If the day comes when you want to leave, tell me. Let's part in a mature way. I hate lies, and I don't want whatever we have to turn into something ugly." Eric gazed at her for a moment, then pulled her closer, pressing a lingering kiss to her lips. "Don't worry," he said, his voice deep and reassuring. "I really love you, Sophia." She blinked, searching his face. "Do you?" He nodded. "I know you may not believe it now, but with time you will. I haven't felt this way since my last relationship. Age is just a number. Let's enjoy this moment and look forward to a greater future." Sophia exhaled slowly, a small smile playing on her lips. "You say the sweetest things. I'm starting to think you're a playboy." Eric grinned mischievously. "Maybe I just know how to make a woman feel special." She laughed, but before she could say anything else, he rolled on top of her, pinning her beneath him. "Eric," she gasped, but her laughter quickly turned into breathless moans as he trailed kisses down her neck, his hands exploring her curves once more. The bed creaked beneath them, moving in rhythm with their bodies. Sophia gripped the sheets, her head falling back as waves of pleasure washed over her. "God, you're dangerous," she whispered between moans. Eric chuckled against her skin, his lips grazing her ear. "Then let me be your favorite kind of danger." Her moans filled the room as the night swallowed them whole, to be continued.